All right. Good day, Illuvium community. How are we doing? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day so far. We had quite a bit to talk about now, of course. Just yesterday, we did have the Illuvium Town Hall, kind of giving us a little bit of a rundown of sorts as to what we can expect for the near future and prolonged future here of Illuvium. And I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll be talking about it very, very shortly. Still fighting a bit of a cold, so bear with me for the occasional joke on screen, but I'll make sure to mute. But good to see people already even in here. Fox, how's it going? Your recap is one of the most anticipated recaps. Well, heck yeah, let's go. Good to see you, good to see you. Congrats on getting your first stream out of the way, or not out of the way, but completed. That's absolutely fantastic. Congrats to you for that as well. Here's so many more. So the game plan for today. We're going to be, of course, talking about said town hall, but we're not going to just sit here and chat about it. I've got a lot of work to do, all right? And I finally can actually get my team into the overworld where necessary and actually start leveling it up a little bit. So as we're talking about town hall, I'm going to be grinding through the overworld, leveling up some of my alluvials, and heck, maybe we'll find a awesome alluvial to catch along those lines as well. Drake, hello, welcome, welcome. A patch, of course, did actually just come out as well. Not like a major patch, but like a hotfix kind of patch. Did just come into Illuvium. I just noticed it this morning, and a lot of the overworld errors that we were getting were fixed from what I understand. Hopefully I don't jinx it and crash it when I go to log in, but it was working earlier, so I'm glad that it just took about a day or so, but they completed the fix nice and quickly. While we're doing, of course, the leveling up and whatnot, also talk about like some of the things, of course, from that town hall, some of the features that were like subtly announced, like not 100% confirmed, but there was a lot of course, to talk about. There won't be any Illuvium Arena from me here today, because I am going to be strictly focusing. I know I need to get this done. As much as I want to go play Arena, I know I need to actually start leveling up a little bit. So there won't be any Arena today. However, going into my schedule for next week, we are going to have our new ranked debut. I'm going to have my team ready, and we will tackle the arena regardless if I feel ready or not. That is going to be my day. So Monday's stream, we finally tackle the ranked ladder once again. Of course, Christmas Eve, we're also going to do a stream in the morning. And we will have a relatively standard one. Probably a bit of the usual, where it's the overworld into arena into zero kind of style. Drake, hello, hello, and still waiting on the zero guide. Oddly enough, actually, coming this weekend, I do have my first long-form Illuvium Zero video, and while it's not necessarily a step-by-step guide, there is a lot there that you can learn from, because it is essentially taking a plot from scratch to the point where you actually start getting fuel and blueprints. I'm eventually going to have my full detailed one that I'm still working on, but this video coming up would absolutely be able to get you started, and a lot of those tips that I would give in my detailed one are also in that video. I believe I have that coming out on Saturday, question mark? On Saturday, yeah, so that video is right around the corner, Drake. I thank you for your patience, but it's coming. I've been in the video editing suite quite a lot this week. I have way too many projects that I want to do, but I finally actually started finishing some, which feels quite good. Let me get my screens all situated one more time. My apologies. There we go. Hopping on into the overworlds right here, right now. So last time we did this, I hopped on in and kind of crashed. But we'll see what happens. I do want to go into Abyssal Basin. I'll explain why momentarily. And travel. Hopefully this works this time. And it looks like we're cooking. Alright, beautiful. So, I have a squad that I need to level. Badly. In fact, I have 2 teams that I want to make, but I'm going to start with one. The first team that I am going to make is going to be a Tsunami Toxic Aegis combination style. And in fact, let me show you what I've been working on as we walk on in. So, the EVE Online player in me is showing up in full force here. I made myself a spreadsheet. So, as you see, everything here on this screen is everybody, or everything within view. Let me slide that over a little bit. There we go, something along those lines. Yeah, so this is what I'm working with, and this just helps me. I know there's a lot of colors and stuff flying all over the screen, but this is what helps me focus down on what I needed to do. So, I'm building basically, again, Tsunami Toxic Aegis style. I can see all of my TPI, all of my levels, all on the screen here as well, and I can see specifically as well very, very quickly, if I do happen to find an upgrade in the field, I can look exactly at what stats I need to upgrade. So the biggest outlier that I think is going to currently screw my team right now is that my Rip Lance is not very good. It is a glass cannon, which, okay, great, it has fantastic attack damage, it has fantastic Omega power. However, its bulk is really, really bad, and its attack speed is really, really bad. I don't necessarily care about the move speed as much. That'd be nice to have, but I can position around that. But I can't position around health and resistances. Rip Lances, let's be honest, they like to go wander around the battlefield, right? And they're going to walk directly into some, like, Sinolf beams and such I could see in the future. Speaking of Sinolf, Alfie and Sinolf are also my other weakest alluvials. I know we're going into a stage 1 run, but if I can happen to find an upgrade for one of those, that would be absolutely immaculate. But I am going to still level up at least my Alfie anyway in the meantime. So as a part of my team, I'm looking at my levels at this moment. So I have to level up my Kirablu, need to level up my Alfie, my Ebb, my Kling, which I'll talk about the Kling in my Ebb actually here in just a second. Something pretty cool happened over the last day. And then trying to level up my carries as well. I should have brought Foe with me, but I don't think I did. But without further ado, let's put the spreadsheets away. Let's get into the action. Because let's see, who do I've got here? It's Riptorus I brought with me instead of Foe. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. And speaking of my Kling, I was very, very generously offered and given a massive upgrade to my Kling by Squawk. They've been tuning into the streams for quite a long time here. They wanted to help out. They knew how I was further behind on my alluvial collection, and they graciously offered me a couple of alluvials. An Ebb, which actually there's an Ebb right here. Let's go. My Ebb, a Kling, a Gnarl, which was a pretty huge pickup as well, a Scoriox, and then one other alluvial, if I recall correctly. But they helped me out big time. They helped me out with like 5 different alluvials, and I'm very, very thankful. Thank you, Squawk, for making this possible. Okay, so far the biggest outlier here in this one is going to be the Ebb that was right down here. A Slappin as well nearby. Those are the ones that I for sure would want to catch, but I'm not going to force myself to catch anything. I'm only going to catch it if it is an upgrade, or if it's something that I could potentially go sell off to the marketplace. Here's the Ebb. But okay, the town hall itself. I got a bunch of notes to talk about. Of course, I am going to be talking about it as if you did not happen to tune into it already, so if some of it's repetitive news, I do apologize. But just in case anybody is stepping in for the first time, we'll talk about it that way. But basically, the big issue, of course, is always funding and being able to get a runway, a relatively safe runway here. Probably not going to end up picking up that debt. But having a safe runway to be able to develop the game like relatively safely, and based off of the conversation that was had in the town hall, it does look like now, thanks to a couple of changes that I'm going to talk about in just a moment here, it will be possible for the Illuvium team to basically fund themselves all the way until like mid-2027. So they basically made 2026 completely fine, no worries about anything along those lines. And they have enough runway that they can take this year, like, and not worry too much. Obviously, they have to be very careful still and not get reckless, but in terms of runway, in terms of developing the game for next year, they should be A-okay to be able to do so. In order to do that, though, a lot of the Illuvium team had to take a pay cut, and some of the Illuvium members actually did end up getting let go. I know personally, on the social media side of things, I did see the effect of that in this one, or from that. I'm not going to use it. To see the effects of that, I'm not sure where else it might have gotten hit, but there was a couple of cuts, but majority of the time it was pay cuts taken by the team themselves. And with the cut staff, it basically made it so that paying staff with the ILV token is no longer a thing. So the constant sell pressure that was on the ILV token should hopefully, in theory, get remedied sometime soon. Again, I'm not no crypto expert, I'm not going to pretend to be, but from someone who just kind of knows stocks at a very, very basic level, if there's less pressure to constantly sell, in theory, it's better for everybody. So that part's all good there. And another, like, relatively general thing that was kind of talked about was their marketing. They kind of admitted that the marketing side of things, especially for things like Illuvium Beyond, for example, were a little bit on the underwhelming side. So it is something that they're going to be focusing on in the near future. Holy smokes. Hello, Pengu. Just missing resistances. I might catch this guy, though. Sweet. Ooh! I think we're catching two on this one. If we can somehow get this to happen here. Pause. Let's secure this real fast before I move forward. Okay, so this takes 40, this takes... Okay, I might be a little bit overkill right now. Blue, come back. 40, that should give me 3 shots. In theory, this should do it. Let's hope, because these are 2 really good alluvials. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, so they kind of admitted that their marketing on the Beyond and on some of their things were a little bit on the underwhelming side, and it's something they're going to be looking into for the next little bit. Which, I mean, fair enough for the most part. At least they're able to call themselves out on it, so to speak. They're open about it and can work on it in the future. Okay, first and foremost, this should be the easy peasy one. Wait, no, let me check my order. This is the easy one, so I should probably go for this guy first. A 50% chance if I use the tier 3 shard. Could potentially over shard, bring it to 90. I think I know my route around this. Let's start with the 3. I don't want to have to overspend if I don't have to. So I think the way to properly handle this is tier 3. If that fails, tier 4, then tier 2 the Gorilla. And I could potentially bring all 3 home. Okay, so the first one's not going to end up working out. Now I have to overshard. Let's see. It would be extremely unlucky if this were to not work out. An above 90% chance to actually catch this slap, and we are going to get it. There we go. Pangu's coming home. This thing maxed out HP, attack speed, attack damage, nearly maxed out on Omega Power. The only thing it's missing truly is just its resistances. But even not the truest of glass cannons, this little penguin is not too bad, if I do say so myself. Now onto the other side here, we do have the Grilla. I'm going to tier 2 shard this immediately, as this guy was also rather good. Maxed out attack speed, attack damage, resistance, and almost maxed out on literally everything else. This must be a 90% TPI. Grilla, we are going to bring it home. I know it was an overshard, but it does not matter. The chance is always there to break out, and we are going to secure it. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That was quite the encounter, finding 2 very, very strong Luvials. In regards to Alluvium Zero, it was actually talked about a little bit, very, very briefly. The big thing that Kieran seemed to be relatively excited about, though, was that the migration to whatever ZK EVM is. This is where the lack of crypto knowledge kind of bites me a little bit, but that is something that they're relatively excited for. Apparently that is almost done, which should in theory then open up Zero to being able to add more features. And as a part of that, one of the things that Kieran did mention was that there is going to be a landholders meeting coming in January. And with the intention of basically saying, like, these are the features that we can make. What would you like, kind of thing. And that's relatively exciting. I know you guys have heard me talk about the training gyms and my wish for training gyms to come into Alluvium Zero. I think I was having a conversation with, I can't remember who exactly the other day, but they're saying they're actually kind of hoping against training gyms because the process of buying experience might actually be one of the core generators of revenue for Alluvium. So to give that to the landholders would basically be throwing away money. And it was a little sad to hear that, but I get where they're coming from. Something along those lines, basically. Let's take a look and see who we got this time. We got spoiled in the last run. Can we get spoiled again? Atlas, not quite. Appon, not quite. And it's an okay Sephoris, but I'm probably just gonna knock it out and move on. Let's do something like this. Let's see, what else I got in my notes here in regards to Zero. No, that was basically it there. So again, there'll be a landholders meeting eventually coming in January, and then there will be the basically them asking which features they want in the game. I didn't just send my guys to die, right? Okay, there we go. I almost maybe under-delivered there, but I was really worried about just maximizing the amount of experience everybody's getting. Poor Kling getting beat up a little bit, but there we go, some big level ups coming on through. Needed that. And then we'll leave all of these guys alone here. They did eventually also talk about the Alluvium Pro League. So of course, one of the questions that I had given into the the Discord where the questions were, was like, did the Illuvium Pro League move the needle anywhere near as much as they were hoping? And they were blunt about it. No, not in the slightest. Unfortunately, nowhere near enough players actually came into the game thanks to the Illuvium Pro League. Like, yes, there were players that did, but nowhere near as many as they were hoping for. Not to the point where they can justify doing something like that again in the state that it was. So it was just essentially way too expensive given the amount of players that it acquired. And even I think I said it on the outside looking in, it was like $150,000 for just the grand finals alone. It probably could have been $30,000 or $50,000, and it probably would have generated the same amount of players, unfortunately. So it was definitely a massive overspend, and they are aware of it. However, they do not want to completely just stop the Illuvium Pro League. They do not want to stop doing tournaments, which I was very, very happy to hear. In fact, they're saying that, like the IPL or IPL Season 2 or any other tournaments, there will be tournaments. They are just trying to figure out exactly how they want to do it, which by all means, fair enough. Do a little setup like this to catch the Exalted Grilla. Let's take a look and see who we got here. Kirablue, no thank you. Monkier, no thank you. Grilla, no thank you. Okay, so we can just beat this guy up. Have a shield. And have a suit. Have a big suit, actually, because we don't have to worry about catching. There we go. Of course, with Leviathan, as we used to know it, is now the ranked mode, and what sounds like the main tournament mode here as well. The talk about an alluvial renting section, or an alluvial alluvial renting website got brought up, and Rich did make a comment in there saying that they were currently making or getting AI to make them an alluvial renting website. Definitely something that is needed. I know even, of course, Rich made Data Kings one of the places to go for being able to watch or get the codes for the Illuvium matches, so you can spectate them alongside a bunch of other information. So an alluvial renting website would be quite cool, as long as everything works okay. In regards to shards, though, this was a little bit unfortunate. They still do not have any news to send us, even though they know what it is. So it's not a case of they're just not sure what they're going to do with it yet, and I need this for shards. There. Oh, that's not even shards. I'm colorblind, I swear to God. They know what shards do, so it's not a case of we're not sure what we're going to do with it yet, so we don't want to announce anything. But no, they specifically are waiting on market conditions to get better, so it's a little unfortunate. I'd love to know what they're all about, but we still are not going to be able to know just yet. Now, I don't actually need a Rylou for any of my teams, but I saw this one was hollow, so I would love to see if it happens to be a godlike hollow. If not, just beat it up, but at the same time, if it's any good, it's kind of mid. Yeah, we can just basically beat everybody up here. And who else do I need to level? Well, they all need to level, duh, but Atlas. Let's do something like this. Can these three take it out by themselves? It'd be a big experience boost if we could. Might be pushing it a little bit too much. Of course, the less alluvials that you actually use in each battle means the more experience everyone gets, because you're not sharing the experience across as many alluvials. So that's why I'm not just swarming the board with all of my alluvials, because they would get next to nothing. And of course, there is an energy or a fatigue system in the game, so you can't just endlessly have your alluvials fight. Like, that's pretty good for the encounter. Almost 300 XP. Alfie gonna get a little boost. There we go. But we'll move on. I'll let the Hollow Railu go. Save my energy. Oh. Save my energy for other stuff. There was a little bit of a change in regards to cosmetics and the Illuvium Beyond set in particular. So, for the longest time, I guess it's just been, you can buy as many of a certain set as you wanted. Of course, I'm not very heavy into Illuvium Beyond. I just occasionally get a special, like, disc, for example, just to have some sort of profile picture. But what they're going to be making the change to here is to make it more of a limited supply sort of style. So there's only a certain amount in circulation, or a certain amount in the world, and you could be one of the few exclusive people to actually have said, say, profile picture, or said style, or said cosmetic, for example. And we're going to actually kind of see that get tied in right here, right away, because there's going to be, of course, a Christmas sale happening that started basically just last night, if I do recall correctly, where there's a bundle for, I think it's like almost 4,700 fuel in game. So I think they said it was about like $49.99 or something like that, almost $50 with USD. And it's going to be like first come, first serve on those, a limited amount of bundles. So they're trying to make it a little bit more scarce to make everything feel just that much more special when you do actually own it. Personally, I do absolutely like that. Just make my collection feel just much more special is very nice. I'm not going to complain about that. No, that grill is probably still not worth it. It looked good for a second. That's here. Scion boost. Suit. Do I have too many alluvials on the field? Potentially. Let's try that. Yeah, so the Christmas sale going on now. The risk to earn minigame. This was interesting. So I was very worried, because we're talking about risk to earn. You're normally talking about gambling, and it depends on how it's done, whether it could be tastefully done here or not. Now, the way that they described this is that the risk to earn game is basically a battle royale that you cannot control. So say I have this Atlas, for example, on my team, or I send it in, I enter it in, there could potentially be maybe an entry fee or something into the battle as well. But I could send it into a battle versus 100 or 1,000 other players who've all put in their alluvials. And it basically turns into the Hunger Games of sorts. It turns into a Fortnite. It turns into a Battle Royale of sorts. But the player doesn't actually control it. So you've trained your alluvial, you've leveled it up, and it's got the right stats and whatnot. Now it's like, okay, buddy, it's on your own. Go perform. And then if you win, you could potentially get prize money. But what was also very interesting is that you could potentially maybe win the other player's alluvials. So remember when I said that I was worried about pink slips? Well, this is pink slips en masse. And what this does, at least for myself personally, this is like a more fun and more glorified version of Counter-Strike skins, basically. Because if I recall correctly, like a lot of the CSGO gambling or the CS2 gambling that has kind of been going on, if I recall correctly, it's a lot of like you put your own skin in and then like raffle it off or something along those lines. This feels very, very akin to it, but there's actually a bit of a game mode, and there's stuff that you can do to like prep your alluvial, or so to speak, not just put my skin in and watch slot machine go burr. So on one hand, I know how freaking destructive this is, because I've seen when I was working in collegiate esports, I pushed hard for a ban against CSGO skin gambling, and we still saw a lot of our players doing it constantly. And it was a very, very addicting thing, and I've seen a lot of players, a lot of people get themselves into trouble financially because of it. However, with the alluvials, while it is very, very similar in nature, one, at least there's actually a game to this, and it's not just a mindless slot machine. I am still worried at least a little bit, but it does sound so interesting. And as long as the bases are covered, maybe it could potentially be like really cool and not too harmful. Anytime there's any sort of risk or any sort of gambling involved, I do worry a little bit, of course. But I trust that it could be done tastefully. And as long as it's done tastefully, I might be alright with it. That Kuka was almost really good. This Gorilla was almost really good too. I'm torn, but even then they're both just like decent tier 1s. That's probably only a couple pennies. I'm not gonna worry about that. Just gonna kill him off. But it does still at the end sound really good. I'm intrigued whether it ends up becoming the pink slip style, where you do end up stealing the other people's alluvials if you beat them. I also then do worry, this is the one thing that I also worry about as well. They flirted with the idea, and they did bring it up, of being able to buy boosts to help your alluvial in battle. If that happens, I'm gonna be pissed, because that completely ruins the aspect of it for me personally anyway. Because if I trained my alluvial and worked really hard on my alluvial to dominate the Battle Royale battlefield, and somebody can just tap their damn credit card and just completely bypass all the work that I've done, I'd be pissed. Did I just die? Whoopsie. Yeah, I'd be upset if that was the way it ended up going. What I don't mind so much, though, was this other thing that they had mentioned where you could buy something extra, but it's basically life insurance. So if you bring your alluvial in, and it does end up going down, that it isn't a permadeath, that I'm okay with, if depending on the game mode, because it's weird. If you're doing a stealing of alluvial style, where if you're doing the pink slip style, where you went into the game, you lost, and you'd give your alluvial to the person who won, if you can just buy life insurance and say, psych, haha, you can't get my alluvial, that's stupid. But if it's something along the lines of, hey, the winner of this battle royale was getting fuel, or something like that, or it wasn't a pink slips game, but no, if you send your alluvial into battle, if it loses and dies, it dies completely and gets burned, that I don't have as much of a problem with. But as long as you're not directly taking a prize away from somebody by paying, I'd be okay. If that makes sense. So again, a boost to enhance stats or competitive performance? No, I do not want. Something along the lines of life insurance to get you out of a pink slips when you lose and get out of giving your alluvial to somebody else? No, I don't want that. But if it was strictly a permadeath game mode and you saved your alluvial from permanently dying by paying a couple bucks, that I'm okay with. Yeah, hopefully it'll pay for boost. Exactly. That to me will absolutely ruin the game for me. Two, three. And maybe get Caribou in here as well. But that does sound extremely exciting. I know, Fox, you're in the same boat as I am, right? Where if there is a spectator portion to said game mode, we're gonna cast the hell out of this thing, right? Like, I would absolutely love it. I enjoyed casting Fortnite in the collegiate scene and Apex Legends. This would feel so much cooler, in my opinion, because it's not controlled. It's a little bit chaotic, which is nice to see. Let's see here. I broke my chat. 1 second, sorry. Think about how it works. Let's say 8 players in one lobby. They're bring 4 alluvials. 3 all of it. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, if you wanted to take, like, having a little bit of an anti-in kind of style there with Ethereum, if they could tie that in, why the heck not? And I believe, personally, I would just want to do 1. Like, 1 per player kind of thing. Because they were saying, like, this wasn't going to be just an 8-player free-for-all, that it can go up to, like, a couple hundred, if not, like, a couple thousand. So, that to me is really interesting. So yeah. Part of me, of course, is worried because of the similarities to CSGO gambling, and I've seen what that's done to people. Or CSGO skin gambling, and I've seen what that's done to people. But if done tastefully, and there's not major over-the-top pay-to-win implications, or denying other players prizing by paying, if they can do it tastefully, I'd be down. I'd love to see it. Something like this. Next thing that was talked about was in regards to Set 1. Of course, one of the big things that this was essentially sold on in the first place was that eventually, once a new set comes out, the other set kind of goes extinct. So what is going to happen with that? First off, they announced that Set 1 is not going to go away unless a very, very early announcement comes out. So this will not take anybody by surprise. You would have a lot of time to be able to collect your alluvials when the time comes. However, they're still not exactly sure when that will actually happen. Probably not anytime soon, because they're making it sound like when the MMO actually comes out, they still do want Set 1 to be a part of that start of the MMO. So with that being said, we still have Set 1 likely for a very, very long time. But especially now with the transition over into Leviathan-style gameplay, I think it's probably not a bad thing, because all these players that were completely content with just having maybe 1 of each, players like me, for example, I'm not upset getting these alluvials all over again because I haven't been chasing stats. Now I actually have to, so it makes it interesting for me still. Insurance will probably pay for, so if everyone goes for insurance, then the money is reward, but if... Okay. Interesting. So, if a bunch of people are paying for insurance, then the money that came, or a part of the money, I would imagine, not all of it, obviously, but a part of the money would go as prize pool. But if nobody's buying insurance, then it's alluvial stealing or pink slips, yeah. Okay. It's an interesting way to do it. I do like it. This Caradulo. Damn. If only it had resistances. May have to catch that one. This Atlas! And Tianti's Absolute Garbo. Okay. I kind of want to catch both of these. I know they're probably literally going to just be pennies, but might be able to help fund me an upgrade on one of my tier 5s maybe one day down the road. I just wish this thing had resistances, though. That's kind of rough. In fact, I think the lack of resistances is probably going to put this thing too far gone. And maybe isn't even worth grabbing. Meanwhile, Caradulo... Oh no, kind of torn. 40. So I need 70 to have 2 shots. Or 71 to have 2 shots here. I don't think that's even possible. Not if I have Ebb on the field. Oh no, it's possible. I just gotta do it a different way, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. Just gotta watch out for those TNT shots. The heal's coming out at a good time, though. Should keep Hetty relatively safe. Didn't give my Ranger a weapon this time, just to try and save some credits. Alright, very nice, guys. My goal before Monday is with my team, I want to have everybody at least level 40. That's my goal. Because I would be far and away better than a newer collection. But top level collections are still going to kill me, is what I figure. We'll use the tier 2 shards to kind of get things moving here. This Caradulo is the one I'm looking for. Maxed out on health. Okay resistances, but still not perfect. But I imagine its TPI is probably still in the 70s. Maybe even 80 if I'm lucky. Could potentially throw it onto the marketplace for a couple pennies. The fact that I'm even talking this way goes to show the difference with this patch, because this before is not the way that I'd be thinking about the game in the slightest. I'm talking like a crypto bro now. Frick. Now, in regards to this Atlas, I'm just going to throw a level 1 shard. If I get it, I get it. Fantastic. If not, not the end of the world. Let's see, Atlas, you want to come join the squad? Nope, it's going to run for the hills. I don't blame you, buddy. Take care. The MMO, of course, was a topic of contention, not contention, a topic that was brought up as well in regards to the playtest, because in theory we were supposed to have a playtest in December, but we're getting kind of close to the holidays, and they did say that they are going to push the playtest into January. And honestly, personally, I am thankful for that, because I did not want to have to be choosing between family gatherings and the Illuvium playtest during the holidays. That would put me in a very, very bad spot, because let's be honest, I would be very, very, or I would be getting my ear chewed off for wanting to be playing during the holidays, if you know what I'm saying. 2, 1, 2. And, oh no, I actually need to really level up my Caribou. Let's do that. And bring Riptor along for the ride. That should do it. I probably should have just given my Ranger the rest of the credits. MMO better not to be rushed, 100%. And in regards to the MMO, they did mention, of course, as well, that like ownership of your alluvials will still be prevalent, in the MMO, especially for those that do like wish to directly take place in it. Of course, somebody can come and play without having anything to do with the Web3 side of things, but for those that are looking for it, it will absolutely be prevalent. And in regards to the playtest itself, it was talked about that, yes, it is going to be private. Yes, those inside of the MMO playtest will be under NDA. However, if you do make a video and submit it to the Illuvium staff, there's potential that they could approve it to be posted anyway. So it's actually quite nice. So like, no, I can't stream it. Like, it is what it is, and that's okay. But I could make a video about it as long as it's approved by Illuvium themselves. So I feel like that's kind of a nice middle ground, to be honest. And I'm pretty happy with that. I definitely understand why. Still, of course, very, very early stages, and there's a lot of things, like they've admitted that there's still a lot of polish that has to go into the MMO, but a lot of things are at least like functioning and working as intended. If this is a gem, I'm gonna be sad. Yep, that was a gem. Unfortunate. I guess I actually kind of need these for my drone augments too. I still don't have my captured drone augments. Snag a couple. That is yellow. Not looking for yellow. When in doubt, check the map. Yep, that's yellow. Yellow, yellow. Okay. Is that one shards? It is actually. We'll take the one shard. I'm gonna get a couple more rocks here. Majority of the juicy stuff I've taken out of this run already. And a lot of my alluvials are exhausted, so I do need to go for a reset and start a new run sometime soon. So we'll do that in just a moment. Okay, there's a rock up here, right? Yep. Snag that. I'm not going to necessarily find the ones that I'm looking for in a stage 1 run, but sometimes you can. Maybe try one more alluvial fight. There's one right over here. Rock. Bug. There we go. I have just enough for a capture if I do happen to find something juicy. Shoutouts to those bugs for body blocking me. There we go. Yeah, so we'll do the next run here in just a moment's time. One of the final thing that I have on my notes in terms of things that was talked about is about 2,000 people actively play Illuvium Arena, which is pretty sick, I'm not going to lie. But that's the gist of the actual Town Hall rundown. If I happen to have missed anything that still stands out in anybody's mind, by all means, let me know in chat and I'll go over it. Ebb. You can actually, I keep forgetting you can actually tank now, so let's have you tank with Riptor. I love how I say that and then they immediately go after the Riptors. Well, that was their mistake. But overall, a good run. I'm very, very happy with what we've accomplished. And what on the world do we have going on here? Where the heck is everybody coming from? On the X side of things, I see yous. Making me blush a little bit. I'm not used to seeing a number that big. I appreciate that everybody's here. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so I'm not going to snag any of these. As I run back to the obelisk, I'm just going to shoot some plants and shoot some rocks. Unless I happen to find maybe one more alluvial encounter, then I'll take one more peek. There we go. Sota, hello, good morning. Yeah, it is A-okay. I'm just happy you're here now. Yeah, the town hall was definitely exciting. While I'm still a little bit, not irked, but a little disappointed that there's still nothing that can be talked about in regards to the staking, everything else for the most part was pretty much positive. I mean, I never like to hear that a few people end up getting cut in terms of working, and then that the team themselves are all taking pay cuts, for instance. Like, I don't take pride in that, but knowing that they, willingly were willingly offered to do so for the sake of Illuvium having a runway that gets all of 2026 covered, and then pretty far into 2027 as well. That is pretty legendary, and that definitely, personally makes me very, very happy that development can continue relatively nicely. Okay, Riptor, come back out to play. I'm going to use the 3, and let's just give myself a shield. Something like that. There we go. It was the Riptor. That was the other one that Squawk gave me. Again, big shoutouts to Squawk. They reached out after my stream on Wednesday and knew about my anxiousness about competing in the arena because I was in the top 50. And I was anxious about losing my spot because my collection wasn't very good. Squawk came out huge, giving me, I think it was a Kling, a Twine, an Ebb, the Ebb that I'm using, the Kling that I'm using, a Riptor. That's one of the ones I have to level up. I have to level up a Riptor. And a Furiox. They gave me 5. How many in the Thunderdome? If you're referring to the risk to earn game style that they were talking about, I believe they were making it sound like you can go up to a couple hundred, if I didn't miss here. So 10 would be very, very minimum, because I was under the impression I'd have to re-listen to. Of course, anything I say do take with a grain of salt. I could have possibly misheard, but from what I understood, it could be around 10. Be around 100. I feel like I heard 1,000 even being thrown around at one point. But basically, you can just have an absolute massive brawl for all in that game mode. So I'm extremely excited. Ooh, an epic shard. Let's go. Remind me to craft that and not jump right into the next obelisk run. One more shard. I still have a couple. Is there anything else I could shoot? Bug. I'll take this too. Some more gems. I know I scoff when I get gems, but I know I'm going to eventually need them anyway. I need this one for my drone sets. Hopefully I find the right rock. I cannot remember which rock it was that I needed, though. And 2 more. Scoop this. And scoop a plant, because why not? Did it give me essence by chance? No, not quite. That does remind me that one thing that I've actually not been doing, because I keep forgetting about consumables in the overworld, and one of the consumables that you can actually give is for bonus experience. I should 100% be using that. That would be incredible if the last standing alluvial could get all of the XP from the other burnt alluvials. That would be hilarious.
Oh, good.
Which makes sense, though, canonically as well. If you're going into a massive battle like that and you're the last one standing, yeah, you should get a lot of experience. No, I completely agree. Assuming it's the permadeath game mode, though. Okay, so quickly going to get that tier 4 shard made. I don't have many, so whenever I find one, I do need to make sure that I get them all made real quick here. I don't run into many tier 4s, but I do want to have the best shot at catching them if I do happen to find them. One thing to also note, that was actually extremely smooth. Normally there's a lot of lag every time that I go to make something in the forge. That was stupid smooth. Okay, alluvials. Who do I want to give a break to here to level up? Let me go to... I could just eyeball it, but of course, I don't like doing that. Allow me to spreadsheet this thing one more time. Okay, so Few's gone up, Cariblou's gone up a bunch. The Riptor from Squawk I do need to level, so we'll pick them up. And then Hetty is what, level 30 something? Maybe I can give Hetty a break? Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So Hetty, have a break. And Riptor is level 11, need to definitely bring that up a little bit. Have you come on through. Weapon-wise, suit-wise, I think I'm relatively satisfied. Let's hop back into the basin. Do I want to do a stage 2 to maybe have more alluvials to encounter? Like, per fight and get more experience? I don't know, what would be more useful here? Like, having less alluvials to battle every single encounter, but it means I don't have to share the experience among many alluvials? Or having more alluvials to battle, but then having more alluvials to share the experience across? What is more valuable here? For the sake of it, I'm kind of thinking tier 2, just for the shot of it. Even if I get my ass kicked, I mean, it is what it is. I like the idea that you get your opponent's cards after beating them into the anime. But most games don't have a mechanic like that. Love to see how it goes. Absolutely. You care for a shadow game? That'd be pretty fun. 100%. I've got your Axodon right where I want them, Yuki boy. You care for a shadow game. Good times. Missed that show. Okay, so first and foremost, we did end up going to a tier 2, so we have the potential of finding some higher tier rarity alluvials. As always, what is up here? That's just a rock. Take a look at that. There's an Axodon. I don't want to go into a tier 2 and have the Axodon be the thing I go to catch, but maybe I can knock it out. Riptor. Exalted Gorilla, might be able to take that down for experience at least. A Flood would be a huge pickup. Let's take a look at that. Virtuous Lynx, I don't have a good one. Arcane Hydra Lynx, I might want to just beat it up. Because I have a pretty decent one already, so unless it's perfect, that would be incredible. A Fern, I need that badly as an upgrade. If I quickly reference my sheet one more time for the Invoker team that I want to build, or the, what is it, Invoker Harbinger kind of style. I do have a Fern as a pickup here, and the best one I have is only 55 TPI. If we can find an upgrade there, that would be wonderful. Caradulo, Carablue, Stoic, Lynx, Relentless Zephyr Lynx, we'll take a look. Riptorus, we'll take a look. Another Riptor. A Lynx, I mean, you can't go wrong taking a look at Lynxes, especially their Sinalf is in this run. Middle stage evolution tier 5 has graced me alongside another Fern. Oh boy, and of course, I don't play with Master Shards. So this is going to get nutty. Ebb here as well. A pretty decent stage 2 run, if I do say so myself. So where did it go? It's the Sinalf. That is priority number 1. Tier 5, middle stage evolution, if I recall correctly too, based on my chart. I won't pop it up again here for use, but my Sinalf currently, only 40 TPI. There is a lot of room for improvement with that fella. Where is it? I saw the bugs over on the left-hand side and thought it was it. Up on the rock. Oh, hello there! Of course, these tier 5s, much more health, but thankfully, get in the right position, you could just blast it down. So in case of emergency, can somebody walk me through how to buy a Master Shard real fast and put it into the game? We'll see. I actually don't even think I have the funds available, so it might just end up being a it is what it is kind of moment. Alright. Let's see what we have on the board. Lesser Monkier. Rather lackluster. Grilla. Lackluster. Sinalf, okay. It's a little lackluster as well. In fact, my Sinalf might be better, so we're just gonna beat these guys up. I mean, potentially maybe just throw a shard at it just in case, just to see, because I'm sure I could probably still just sell it. It wouldn't be for very much, but I think the floor for tier 5s would definitely be worth doing. So let's see. Kling, come to the forefront alongside Archie. Let's move you over here. Sinalf's gonna blast me, so Ebb, take the shot for me, please. Riptor. Carablue. Atlas, come to the back line to help with the Grilla. Got smoked by an ad, so this one ended up being attack speed at best, but again, not the greatest. So we'll probably end up passing on this one. You go up here. If I throw Alfie in there, Exalted Grilla is just going to kill it, and I'd kind of want to keep it for another round here. Give myself Fighter. Give myself a suit. Maybe the Ranger can deal with Monkey. In terms of a Flint Cap, give that to Riptor. Don't want to spend too much time on this, so let's see. 45. I'll have the one shot, but that's all I'm kind of looking for anyway. Let's see if we can do this. Again, I do not do tier 2 runs really at all, so that's why I'm taking so damn long at trying to set these up, because I am scared, to be completely frank with you. At least in terms of my positioning there with the Ebb, Sayonara Ebb, you did exactly what you needed to do. Scooped up that Sinalf beam for me quite nicely. keeping everybody else quite alive and quite healthy at that. Just please, can we keep Archie alive? Don't let them die. No, they did end up falling, so a little unfortunate, but for the most part, we scooped them up. Hey, did I get your team changed? Yes, they put out a hot fix over the when I was asleep. They actually did put out a hot fix. I was able to, one, get into the overworld nice and smooth. The Forge seems much, much smoother when actually processing for shards anyway. And then, yes, I was finally able to get my team changed. But yes, very, very happy about that. So yeah, Toriel, if you want to go grind out some levels as well at some point, you should be able to do it quite nicely. And yeah, there we go. This is the difference between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 runs right here. Everybody had 500 at least. The Sinolf, it's probably not an upgrade, but it would be pretty sick if we could catch it. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. It's a middle-of-the-line Sinolf, and it is immediately going to go away. So, unfortunate, but we weren't expecting too much nonetheless. Yours is working too. Perfect. I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, so far the stream's just been able to, while yapping about Town Hall stuff, I've been able to level up quite a bit. Got a couple of my newer alluvials from 1 to about 18, 19 at this point now. Rose goals not to kill the units in terms of statuses. Yeah, 100%. Especially if the mud buff and whatnot's on them, you're completely correct. If I'm down here, Fern is the next one closest. Let's go there. I eventually do want to build like a Scion kind of Invoker kind of base style, and I do want to include a Fern on that squad. In fact, it'll be Wildfire Invoker is kind of the idea that I'm going for. Not a traditional Invoker. And that's why Fernite, and Blasonite will be on that team. Because otherwise, yeah, for traditional Invoker, you'd probably skip Fernite. Or the Fern line. But I enjoy Wildfire, I enjoy Verdant. It's a fun playstyle. Even if it's not the best. Okay, in terms of the Caribou, lackluster. Fern, that would be an upgrade. That would absolutely be an upgrade here. Almost perfect offensive stats. Does have maxed out health as well. It's just a little bit squishy, unfortunately, but it would still be an upgrade. Okay, in order to get this done, so Fern is going to be shooting off those tornadoes, of course, so very similar situation to last time. Ebb, come here to direct the traffic. Let's see, Gnarl, Atlas, Caribou. Let's not get too far away. You might still get in the range of the battle. Sword to help buff Riptorus. Big suit. Maybe the ranger can go charge in directly at Fern immediately. And I do need to level up Riptorus, or Riptor rather. This gives me 45, that is exactly enough for one shot, so what I will do is a slight suit change, give me 2 shots at getting this Fern. I think this is probably the minimum that I can do. There's a couple stage 2s here, so I imagine the amount of experience that you would get would be quite nice. Everybody have a flint cap? Maybe do something like that. Very well might still end up going down, because my units are still not leveled up. But let's see, maybe we can still take this down. So far so good, but that Crunk is going to be rather annoying to deal with. Kinda wishing that oh god, this isn't good actually. Oh no. I heavily underestimated the Crunk and just kind of threw those away. Damn. Well, that definitely hurts. Got greedy again. Don't know whatever it is, but every time I try to go for 2 chances to capture an alluvial, I throw the round in these later stages. Nope, so that was a pretty decent fern that I'm gonna let walk away. Because I got greedy with my alluvials. I should have put a little bit more firepower. Maybe make the decision. If I'm actually trying to catch something, go guns blazing. Don't just assume you're fine. But hello, beautiful. There's the lynx. If it has good stats, we'll pick it up. But if not, we'll just beat it up. Even these stage 2, even the stage 3 runs, this is all still new to me. I've not been in the position that I've been in now where I have an abundance of fuel and can be able to actually do these runs. For the most part, I've always been just kind of scraping in. I've not been one to necessarily dump a ton of money into fuel and then play overworlds. I've just always been kind of scraping around with less than 100 fuel, so I've always just been doing stage 1 runs. And my lack of experience, like even looking up here, I keep forgetting about the encounter mods that can absolutely make or break a fight. But we live, we learn, we keep on trying here. Caribou, not terrible. Heck, this Apon's not bad, but I really don't want to go into a tier 2 run and get an Apon, do I? But that's so good. The Zephyrlynx is whatever, but damn. I might have to snag that, even though I really don't want to, given the kind of run we're in. Okay. Kind of bunker in the squad a little bit. Fling. Caribou. Atlas. Riptorus. And just go for the one shot. Yeah, maybe I just do a one shot with one of the shards and just whatever happens, happens. Oh, frick. The other thing, too, is I put all of those flint caps on my alluvials in the last fight. So I lost all of those, too. We'll try again. Is this enough? I mean, if I already am so low, I might as well just kind of put everybody on, right? Like, stop being greedy, just get the whole squad in. Could potentially be a fight where even though I have everybody on the board, my team itself just might not be strong enough, which is the first time I've kind of felt this way in Illuvium. That'd be a lot of flint caps. Alright. All things considered, let's give it a shot. Now, Archie's going to help with the back line, but I probably should have put it a little bit closer to the front, given that if my back line is getting attacked, I'm probably too far gone anyway. Should have probably left them with the front. That Lynx is such a monster. Look at how well it's holding all of my alluvials here. Riptorus, please finish this thing. Thank God. That was still nerve-wracking, because if it got through that front line, my back line would have absolutely been cooked. Now this is satisfying to see, though. Look at these levels all coming on through. Hell yes. Now the Lynx, of course, wasn't anything to write home about, nor was the Caribou. It was this dang Apon that I'm kind of debating on, right? Because you don't need movement speed. Apon's literally just sitting there. All things considered, I feel like this would be a fine pickup. I'm going to get greedy and just use a tier 2. I have an abundance of these. I'm just going to scoop it up. I haven't spent any other energy left in this run. Might be a mistake, but I like this Apon. I didn't even realize, too, that it was actually level 7. I'm used to catching stuff that's already, or only level 1. But yeah, there we go. Lesser Apon maxed out on the tank stats with the health and resistances, maxed out attack damage and Omega power as well, giving the best possible buff to your allies. You would have grabbed it too? Okay, I feel a little better knowing that. Alright, there we go. I feel better knowing that. Okay. A good fuse alluvial. Okay. Perfect. Riptorus is right next door. I do have a Riptorus that I like already, thanks to Squawk. Or they got me a Riptor, rather. That, oh no, it was Riptorus as well. They gave me one yesterday to kind of help flesh out my team. Or no. Resay that. They gave me a Riptor, but not a Riptorus. Riptorus is the one that I had specifically got myself, but it is still does have plenty of room for improvement. I know I'm leveling one right now, so it's gonna feel kind of bad if I put all the levels currently into this one, and then all of a sudden I have to change it. But it would be a bonus still upgrade if we could. Okay, Atlas, mid, Lesser Apon, no good, and Riptorus is no good either, so we're just going to beat the hell out of these alluvials with everything that we can. This Krunk, once again, I'm not going to underestimate you, not again. Okay, Alfie, corner, Ebb, corner. Tank. Tank with Archie, so Archie's actually healing tanks. Atlas, you go there. Buddy system with Riptor and Riptorus. The Toxic Brothers of Destruction coming on through. Little bro, you stay near the back, though. And just do something like this. Might be overkill, but I'm scared from the last time. It is also cool just seeing the entire team on the board like this, though. This is the feeling that I've been missing and kind of waiting for a long time, because before, when I was doing my stage 1 runs, I would just mindlessly throw in my Riptorus, I'd throw in my Caradulo. Okay, I won rounds, yippee, let's go catch and move on and whatnot. But no, knowing that these are all getting leveled and getting experience, and this is going to be the team that I'm actually using in Arena as well, I cannot emphasize enough how fantastic that feels. If I recall correctly, there was a flood in this as well. That is one of the alluvials that I do need an upgrade for. I get one more chance at a Fern, and then I think the flood is right up there as well. I've got plenty of energy, so that's not a problem. It's more so an issue of, do my alluvials have enough energy? I can see an instance, especially since a lot of my alluvials have actually gotten taken down, that fatigue actually becomes a problem. Definitely not something I'm used to. Need to get to that bounce pad mushroom. Boing. Right up here somewhere, just around this log maybe? There's the Fern. Oh, come on, you. Thankfully, I don't have complete Potato Wayne here today. That would have been a bad spot for it to run around. There was a lot of logs and a lot of hills that I would have likely shot. Okay, let's not screw this up here with Fern. Oh, there's a Goliath here? God dang, okay. All right. Stat-wise, let's take a look. Caribou. It's not terrible, but I'm probably still not going to try and catch that. Gorilla is nothing. This Fern is not amazing. I think it would probably still be an upgrade. The Omega Power is nice. I might, instead of throwing a tier 5 shard at it, if I do manage to get a chance to catch it, I might just throw a tier 4. Try one and done. Yeah, that's probably the way. Just one and done this fight. Not gonna try and go for the multiple catches this time. Okay, how do I utilize the team here properly? So Archie, if you want to heal the tanks, you kind of got to be a little bit more forward-facing, I think. Alfie, stay within range of Archie. Caribou, come here too. Tanky, set up here for my Ranger. Ranger, though, runs like Sonic would be jealous, so let's put them down at the back here as well to catch. Brotherly buddy system coming on through here once again with Atlas as the tank for Goliath. Ebb, kind of come on over to the corner once again. If I move Alfie up, that means in theory Fernite should shoot towards Ebb. Since the Goliath is there, I would love to be able to give everybody a massive experience boost if we win this fight. Give everybody a flint cap. This is gonna punish me for this entire time. I have not gathered consumables at all, but now I'm actually starting to realize some of its value. And I'm wishing I did. My poor little Alfie is going to get absolutely smoked by the tag team of those two gorillas. A little bit of a split fight, but we are coming on clutch. A couple of alluvials of mine, I think, did end up falling. So again, fatigue is going to be a thing. I need to prioritize what I'm picking now here in this run. Get him, little Riptor. They shall be Little Rip and Big Rip. 400 experience to everybody. Love to see it. Yeah, stage 2s definitely feel like the way to go here now for my current scenario. Stage 1s are okay, but being able to level everybody up like this is just so satisfying. We're going to go for the 50-50 here onto this Fern. It is an upgrade, but not by much. So I'm not going to be too disappointed if we do end up losing it. See if we can manage to get ourselves a Fern. We are going to be able to get it. There we go. Our little baby chick is here. And it's actually, I mean, I was kind of talking down to it. Yes, its attack damage is kind of rough, which is definitely unfortunate, but everything else is at least doable. And then that Omega Power, I mean, I kind of like it. I'll have to go back later and consult my spreadsheet, see exactly how much of an upgrade that is, because currently my Fern, it has absolutely no Omega Power. And like level or stage 3 across the board, so yeah, that would be an upgrade. Sweet. Where is that flood? Around here somewhere, right there. That's what I want to check out next. I think my alluvials are starting to get tired, so I need to make sure I'm going after exactly what I want. I do have a couple ringnut plants, but I know since I've not been collecting them that I'm going to burn through them pretty quickly. There he goes, the little guy. Waddling his way away. Middle stage evolution. Tier 4. Going to be an extremely tough one to compare what I'm currently rocking on my squad, my Flood. It does have the tank stats that I'm looking for, but it does not have much else in terms of damage, movement speed. Of course, yes, Flood does not attack, but these stats still go into its Omega. I would love to be able to give it an upgrade. Currently TPI 69. The Goliath returns here to just hold the line. Let's see what we're dealing with. This Flood is absolutely mid. So, okay. We're going to kill and run. And nothing else really to write home about. So, makes the decision easy for me. We just got to beat everybody up here. Which one is this? Is this Virtuous? Okay, just leave it till last. That's fine. And we can see, yeah, the red indicators here. That is how I know my alluvials are really starting to get tired. And unfortunately, especially with the tanks, since they're more prone to getting knocked out, they lose their energy so much faster. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You come here as well. Poor Alfie's probably gonna get just jumped on by Gorillas. If I pinch my Ranger in for a second, will that help me deal with the Gorilla? Might not be a bad way to do it. Ring nuts. I think I have some. Actually got a handful. Let's see if I can just use the baby ones from the tier 0s. And hopefully that'll be enough here. Okay, let's beat him up. Perfect. Pinching the Ranger in like that did help deal with this Gorilla. Helps take it down before it beats up my Alfie. Exactly what I'm looking for. And now, yes, every one of these alluvials are tanky. But if they get focused down one-on-one, we can administer the swarm. These ain't Zerglings, but they're definitely... some of them are at least a little creepy crawly, a little nasty, but damn well are they cool, and they did the exact job that I'm looking for. And another almost 420 experience here, 417 to be particular. The quest of getting everybody up to level 40 is moving along quite nicely. If I recall correctly, none of these are anything to write home about, so we will end up moving on to something different. There's still plenty other encounters in this field, as long as my alluvials aren't tired. That could potentially be a thing. And I tell you what, this is the first time I've been into Overworld where it doesn't feel like Overworld is dragging, like time is dragging, so to speak. The fact that stream technically is in its like last quarter here, it feels like I just got started. And I absolutely love that. I do want to check this Exalted Gorilla if it happens to be decent. Where am I near? Let me check the rest of the stuff I have marked. There's Riptor. I'd love to be able to check Riptor as well. There's the Rock. Axodon might be kind of cool to take a look at. There's another Ebb. Or, links. All this stuff down towards the bottom I haven't necessarily checked out yet. Arcane Hydro. Frick, eh? Okay. Here's what I'm probably going to do then, because there's still so much that I want to take a look at, but again, I just don't think I have the alluvial energy in order to keep up. What I'll end up doing, let's check the Exalted Gorilla and see if it's any good. If it's any good, we'll try and capture it. I'll put a beacon down here, so if I have to just run away, I just spawn here instead. Take a look at the Riptor above me, and if neither of those are very good, then we'll go back to the obelisk, go back to the south side of the basin, and move on from there. Zephyros, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome. Good morning. Good day. Congrats on continuing to hold that top spot in Illuvium Zero, mate. Well done. Okay, Carablue, nothing to write home about. The Lynx, nothing to write home about. Exalted Gorilla, nothing to write home about. We're just gonna run. The Alluvials are too tired to just keep taking fight after fight after fight. Would love to have been able to check every single encounter, because I know there's other Alluvials in every single encounter. Sometimes you get surprised, like in that last one, I did not expect there to be a Lynx, for example. Okay, where is the Riptor? There's the little guy. I have high standards to take care of this guy. If you want to join the team, you need to be good. Squawk just gave me a Riptor. I do not want to replace it unless it is just that much stronger. Continuing to work on it right now. Yeah, very, very nice. So we'll see you in 2 hours. No, I'm just kidding. You fly through those plots so fast. I'm astonished. Keep up the good work. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for thank you for tuning in. I'm happy that you are here and happy that I'm streaming. You're gonna fire your ears up again later. Sweet. It's Twitch, right? So real quickly, I know they're in the YouTube chat right here, right now, but Zephyros with an X at the end. So Zephyros X, your #1 Illuvium Zero player, does stream on Twitch. And if they're streaming a little bit later, definitely go take a look, because you will learn a lot extremely quickly. I know I did, and my plots are benefiting because of it. Atlas, nothing to write home about. Hetty is here. It's okay. And then Riptor, nothing. Okay, we're running from this too. Okay, to the south side here is the next goal. Thankful I put the little teleport beacon down, because normally when you run away from a fight like that, it will immediately spit you out back at the obelisk, unless you put that little teleport beacon down, so I'm thankful there. I mean, those 2 Lynxes look so good, too. I want to go check out the Axodon. There's so much to check out. Christmas came early. And the thing is this isn't even necessarily special. This is just a Stage 2 run. And I've been so used to Stage 1 runs that everything that I'm finding here is just shocking me a little bit. This is a Stage 2. Okay, up here, just around the bend of these roots, should be an Axodon in all of its glorious beastly beauty. There he is. Currently have one. It's not the greatest TPI, but it is hollow. So I do love my Axodon dearly. But I would love to be able to find something super powerful. I'm so thankful I didn't go for Stage 3, though. If I'm having a hard time right now winning these Stage 2 fights, I would have absolutely gotten murdered in Stage 3, and I would have felt so bad. That would have been a lot of burnt fuel. That'd be a lot of beat-up Alluvials. What the heck? Rampfight is here to try and wreck my day. Oh, God. Okay, let's see. Arcane Hydrolink's here as well with full Omega power. Good God. Additional Omega power. Oh my Christ. Okay. Just off of those 2 Alluvials alone, this is scary as hell. And this Axodon actually has pretty decent tank stats. You found a Dark Hollow Scarabok in a stage 2. That's incredible. Nice find. And it has a star. What do you mean it has a star? Or is this what you're talking about here with the additional damage? Now I'm worried that I'm actually missing something here. Double check the... All of these alluvials are, like, not too bad. Like, I'm not interested in catching the Titofi or the Grilla, but I mean, because they have decent stats, I'd imagine they hurt a little bit. Am I wrong thinking? Okay, so you're talking about the encounter mod. Okay. Am I wrong thinking that I don't have the firepower to get this done? If I get this done, it is absolutely going to kill a ton of my alluvials too, and I'm so close to being skunked out here. Let me see my Axodon real quick. Let me consult my sheet one more time. Sheet Flashbang. Axodon. Oh, I could use... That would 100% be an upgrade. Even if it doesn't necessarily have Omega Power. Like, let me go back to it. It may not necessarily have the Omega Power... or like attack damage stats, but tank-wise, this would be it. Food, duh, consumables, right, that's a thing. Okay. Alright. Ranger, you are the Juggernaut. Tank the rogues. Okay. We set up... We set up near Axodon, I think. I'll watch out for the splash, though, from the Axodon, so do something like this. Ebb, go here, deal with, hopefully, an Arcane Link's Blast that just goes into you. Gumbo Balls for DPS, Health Regen Fruits for tanks. Okay. Hero Blue, just in case a rogue happens to come back. Riptor, Riptor. Tuck in kind of with the squad here, Alfie. I'm only going to have the one shot 100% to actually get this, but I know better than to try and go for two now. Food-wise. Health per second fruit. I'll put the common ones on. I don't have many. I give it to my tanks here. We'll just say for Gumbo Balls. Do have a couple. Attack damage and attack speed. I'll just go... For today, I'll go for the commons. Energy regen. Something potentially like that. I'd classify, I guess, Ebb as a tank, right? Do something like that, maybe. This is going to be tough. And if this goes down, this is basically run over. All of this for the Axodon upgrade. The Ranger's doing a good job of keeping both of the rogues at least in check for the moment. And we do at least get rid of Grilla. Alfie is safe. This is bad, though. The Lynx, it's lined up beautifully. It does just go right through the tank line. There we go. Swarm this ramp fight down, though. Get it before the Omega. Oh, God. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. That was tense. Just watch those levels go up, not because I care about the looking at the levels going up, but I do like it, but just to give myself a chance to breathe. So, we live. Axodon. Tier 2 shard. Let's have it. If I go through all of this and you break out of a tier 2, I am going to be a sad panda. 86% chance to actually capture this. Can we lock it down? We absolutely will. This is an upgrade. Here we go. Axodon is here. Max health. Almost perfect resistances. Has some move speed, which is definitely nice, but not amazing. And then its attack, offensive stats, definitely a little less to be desired. But let's see, that's a 5. How have I been calculating this? 5, 4, 3, 1, whatnot. This is definitely an upgrade. Wonderful. Was definitely scared about that, I'm not gonna lie. Heck, people might be even saying that, oh, Silent, you're clip farming, aren't you? Like, this isn't even that intense. Bro, I don't do this often! I genuinely felt scared. Okay. Okay, so, what was it? It was Lynxes. There's an Ebb. Riptor. Okay. Ebb is going to, I think, be the next one that I was looking at. My platforming skills are not the greatest. Bear with me for that. Ebb is definitely something that I could use an upgrade on. Squawk was graciously able to give me one of their Ebbs, though. So I do have one that is at least, I think, in the 60s in terms of TPI, if not better. Let me check again. Okay, it's 75, so it's actually not terrible, but I would love to potentially have a chance for an upgrade there. Oh my god, I'm sinking in a flower. Where did he go? There you are. Little bugger. For a guy who's not supposed to move very fast, you sure are moving quite quickly there, little Ebb. There we go. No, 100%. Now that I actually see in stage 2 runs here where I'm, especially when I'm leveling alluvials up, like if I had all of my alluvials leveled up right now, like okay, I probably wouldn't be worried about consumables. But because I'm really pushing it, I see the value in doing like even, yeah, a stage 0 run just for the basic ones. Because yeah, there's nothing really, no major huge drop here from like a tier 0 free-to-play consumable compared to a stage 1. Obviously, the big guys in the, like the rare ones, 100% are a big difference maker. But I'm not going to have many of those. So yeah, just running basic runs is probably not a bad idea. All of these are not anywhere close to upgrade, so I will end up running from this. And it brought us right to the obelisk, because it was closer than my teleport pad. I can go check out these lynxes, and then come down for these as well. I guess there's lynxes there too, eh? And there's 2, 3 rifts actually all in a line here. This actually lines up quite nicely. Okay, Okay, so the double, there was the Virtuous Lynx, and I know for a fact my current Virtuous Lynx is Garbo. It does not have much at all in terms of statistics. Although for the Arcane Hydrolynx, it would take a miracle to be finding an upgrade for that, because I believe it's like an 86 TPI Arcane Hydrolynx right now. Here's the first one. Let me plant down another beacon just in case we just end up running, so I don't have to run again all this way to go get the next Lynx. I know I then don't have any beacons for the south side, which is a little bit of a misplay, but it'd be like that. Hey, oh god, hello, beautiful. Stoic Hydrolynx looking to protect their young, it would seem. And based off of that, this Virtuous Lynx does not look very good. None of the alluvials that I can catch look very good here, so I'm just going to run again. Let's check out the Arcane Hydrolynx that was right behind me. And of course, while I'm hopping on over to this Arcane Hydrolynx, again, do want to give a big thank you to everybody tuning in today. Been really enjoying my time here with Illuvium as is. The latest changes as well. Just put so much more extra emphasis onto the overworld now, and I've been having a lot of fun with that as well. Regardless of which platform you happen to be on, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or X, if you want to come hang out again, I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with the exception of next week, because it is the holidays, of course. I will not be doing a stream on Friday, but I am going to be still doing Monday, Wednesday. I do it 10 in the morning my time, 3 p.m. UTC. So if you want to come hang out and play some more here, or hang out with me as we do some more Illuvium, be sure to follow or subscribe regardless of which platform you happen to be on. Monday is going to be my Ranked Arena debut, so we'll give it a shot here with this team. Regardless of which level we're at, we're going to give it a shot. And nothing to write home about for any of these alluvials here, so we'll take our energy and go to the south side. Did the Xmas sale start? I believe it did. At least on the website it did. I know you can buy the bundles right now. In the town hall, they did, of course, bring up the shards. Unfortunately, they have no news to share in regards to the shards, unfortunately. They said that they know what they're going to be used for. However, they don't want to announce it until market conditions are better. That was the only thing about the town hall that kind of frustrated me. Everything else was all positive, but yeah, unfortunately, shard usage is still an unknown to the community. In theory, I probably could have just teleported to the obelisk and got moving, but the movement in this game is still pretty fun. That is going to be one thing that I'm going to miss, and I think they even talked about it in the town hall as well. Like, the movement is so fun in Overworld, but yeah, the fact that you can traverse such big distances so quickly makes any sort of landscape you make just seem small. So I am going to be missing it a little bit. And okay, I can actually place a beacon again, so that works out. We'll go from there. In regards to the MMO playtest, they said that they need another couple of weeks, especially throughout the holidays, to get the job done. And honestly, personally, I'm kind of happy they're pushing this back to January. It was mentioned, of course, absolutely, Yeah, the playtest, the private playtest is going to be into January. Sometime after the holidays. Probably a good thing because I feel like a few people, like myself, that have, say, families and whatnot, would not want to be trying to split time between trying to playtest and trying to have family gatherings and such. Greater Monk here, no thank you, no thank you. This Virtuous Links, I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm still gonna pass on it. I want it done right first, no rush, 100%. Like, we get it's going to be an early access playtest, and some things aren't going to be polished, per se. But we've seen what's happened before when pressure is put onto the developers to release something extremely quickly because we want it now, we need to be playing this now, and then it ends up under-delivering. So as much as I'm eager to play it and whatnot as well, I do hope they do take all the time they need. Screw what other people say, screw what the extractors say, the crypto investors, so to speak. Make sure the game is good. If anything, it benefits the investors for them to take their time. So everybody wins. Just take your time. Let's not rush. Now, my Lynxes are currently really bad, so I really want to find an upgrade, and that is not going to be it. Let me double check the other two. I mean, that's not a terrible Caribou, but I'm probably still not going to catch it. Not a terrible Atlas, but I'm probably not going to catch it now. When there's other things out here, like I need to find a Lura, there's still Riptors to be looked at. I need to take a look at those first. Okay, next up. Down in this puddle of three, Lura Lynx Riptor. Let's go there. We'll go through that. Still worried about the energy on the alluvials as much as I'd want to take some more time with them. These aren't the green ones, right? No, they're not. Okay. I always have a hard time figuring out what's Geodyne and what is not. I spooked the Lura. Where did it go? Trying to look down at the mini-map here. I think I do see it running away. Oh, there you are. One of the teams I would love to maybe make some time in the near future, because there is a lot of overlap with what I'm doing currently, is Bloom Aegis. So I would love to also have a good Bloom squad here with the Luras. Look for dots. Huh. I've always just been kind of going off of the color, so I've been kind of maybe nerfing myself a little bit that way. T-Rude, nothing to write home about. This Lura has absolutely nothing in regards to Omega Power. A little bit of a heartbreaker. Let's go take a look at the Lynx instead. Helio's the yellow one, if I recall correctly. Lazarites have some dots or stones. Okay. Yeah, because I've always just been going off of color, which has been making it a little bit difficult. If there's some other sign that maybe I just haven't been noticing, that'd be extremely helpful, so thank you. Yeah, like I look at that and I'm thinking to myself, is that yellow or is that Is that green? But that is also probably a skill issue on me. Up and over the rock, over the plants. Should have one of the alluvials that we're looking for here. I think this is the Riptor. Oh no, it's the Lynx actually. Let's get him. Fox, welcome back. See the stones at the bottom. Oh, that's what you're referring to. Okay. So white ones, or the Geodyne, don't have the stones you're saying, and then the Lazurite does? Oh god, that's a nasty front line. And I mean, we're not gonna have to deal with it though. Last couple of encounters have been definitely a little bit rough, but it's alright. We've got one more main encounter that I'm looking for, which is the Riptor that should be down here on the southern side. Once we get there, I'll burn the rest of my energy off on collecting stones, because I need a lot of stones. I need them for my drone augments. I need them quite a bit, in fact. So we'll do that. And then any other alluvial encounters that we see that might be interesting, we'll burn out the rest of my alluvial's energy with whatever we see. No stones on geos. Okay, perfect. Here, let me get into this. There's a little Riptor. Can this Riptor beat the one that Squawk gave me? We'll have to see. Do you think that direct trading and direct selling of alluvials from player to player... Direct trading and selling... Isn't that what's already happening? Or are you referring to in-game, Fox? Yeah, I know you can get your capture rate up and then the energy down. I just straight up don't have said augments right now, so I definitely need to work on them. This is an absolute mess of an encounter. Look at this here. We've got health, we've got dodge chance. Okay, it's a little annoying, but it could be worse. This Riptor wouldn't be worth catching, but again, I'm very low on energy. And there was a lot of big alluvials here. This would be a huge experience gain, I would imagine. You can tell I haven't used a marketplace much. Yeah, 100%. I've not been that player. Only until, like, now have I really, like, actually focused on it. If I do that, I'm going to be sending my Riptorus into suicide. Let's not do that. Well, the thing is, if you do a direct sale to sale, that cuts out anything actually going to Alluvium, right? Which is optimally, for the sake of the game itself, not very good. So no, I don't think it's going to be a thing. Do I give myself the fighter buff or the scion buff here? Probably fighter. Load up. And this is going to be greedy, but all I'm going to do is just a flint cap. If I happen to go down, I'm not too disappointed. Let's just see how it goes. Let's see, gang, can you hold on? There's a lot of stage 3s in this fight. Send ETH directly, stuff can be listed, and open again and sniped. I mean, even with what like Squawk did with me yesterday, just transferred alluvials over to me, there was no issue there. And I'm sure if players wanted to have private transactions that they could. So I don't see necessarily the need for directs, per se, being built in by any means. Okay, so I'm not going to catch nothing in this fight. Just happy that we got the fight done. Let's shoot some rocks. Okay. And then we'll see. Technically, I should be doing my Illuvium Zero cooldown right here, right now. But I have an inkling that I'm not done leveling yet. Debating on kind of maybe pushing this into overtime, doing one more run. And then a rather quick zero afterwards. I don't think I have anything going on per se. So I need these rocks. There we go. Scoop this up as quick as I can. I marked the lazarite because I need them for shards. That is not lazarite. I got exposed for potato wave, apparently. Let's try it again. There we go. There's a reason why I don't play Valorant. A rare shard will gladly accept. An epic shard as well. Let's go. That one was lazarite, right? Because of the rocks at the bottom? It was, actually. Okay. I think I see what yous are talking about now. That's, yellow. Scoop these all up real quick. Another rare shard. There we are.
Now this is interesting.
All right. Just wrap this one up real quick. I know I've been quiet for a second. Bear with me. Because it's a stage 2, I do want to try and maximize my time here. Even though I do have the fuel available to kind of be a little bit more reckless, I just want to make sure I'm scooping something up with some of these extra energy spots. We'll take the gumbo drop. Thing is even with all of these shards that I've shot, or all of these rocks that I've shot, I still think I'm probably nowhere near close to getting a capture rate augment here. I know I could have optimized it a little bit more. Squeezed out that last rift, the couple extra shots, but we'll leave it with that for now. So yeah, not a bad run by any means. That Axodon was definitely the highlight in terms of the battlefield. Then the Fern as well, quite nice. The Apon was a nice surprise. First time I found one of those. That's kind of cool. It is already a thing. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Just say I don't necessarily use the marketplace too much, so I didn't want to necessarily give false information. But I'm glad y'all have figured it out or helped Fox with it. There we go. Thank you. Is there any other change? Any other change that I want to do here? I mean, I was pretty happy with that, to be honest. Probably... It was only the Axodon that got upgraded that I was... Oh no, I'm not even leveling that. Yeah, we're good. One more time, we're going to do Stage 2 again. I enjoyed it last time. Let's do it one more time. This will put me into overtime 100%, but I tell you what, I'm having definitely a lot of fun here today, and I don't think I have anything that I'm going to be running into. So, for the first time in a long time, my stream will go into overtime. Let's see what we could end up scooping up here. Lura will definitely... Dash will take a look at you, absolutely. God forbid you find a good one of those. I'm sure that would be worth something. Monkier. Fully evolved one. Riptor. Lynx. Slappin'. A Stoic Lynx. Maybe we can take a look at that as well. Is that a Slashin' here? Fully evolved Slashin' in the field. Considering how bullshit that thing is in the arena right now, I would absolutely love to find a good one. And make somebody sell me their soul for it. No, I'm just kidding. Alfie is here too! That would be a huge upgrade. And of course, I don't run any Master Shards, so that is going to be scary if needed. Another Flood, literally in the exact same spot as last time. Another Dash has showed up here. Relentless Hydrolinks, Nimble Hydrolinks, Double Nimble Hydrolinks, okay. This is just a field of Lynxes apparently here on the left-hand side. The big rock, that's just Helio. I'm not too concerned about that. We've got ourselves... I don't even know where to begin. Every single one of these areas have something that I want to take a look at. I think it's got to be the Alfie, right? That'd be the immediate upgrade. If I can manage to lock that down. I didn't even see this Riptorus here, actually, too. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going through the scans. I didn't remember seeing one here. Here. What on earth? This is the alluvial counter. Yeah, we'll just mark that for now. Riptorus, I will come back for you. And hello, Pistol Shrimp. See if we could potentially get an upgrade out of you, because currently... Can I actually scroll right now? I can't really scroll, can I? We are here. Yeah, so this is what I'm currently rocking in regards to my Alfie. It's got plenty of room for improvement. Let's see what we can find. No, I definitely thank you for asking for permission. It's definitely a very, very respectful, and I do thank you for doing so 100%. You've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but I've not had any problem. By all means, go ahead. Okay, Atlas, nothing to write home about, nor that Caradulo, and okay, this Alfie is absolute cheeks. Okay. Unfortunate, I don't even think it's necessarily even worth wasting energy on the Alluvials fighting this. We will move on. Like, that one was easily, like, maybe 20, 30 TPI, probably only worth a couple of cents, which sure, I probably could have still thrown a shard at. But there's still so much I want to get to in this run. Gear, hello, good morning, or good afternoon, technically. How's it going? Getting nervous for work. Yes, it should be one of your first days. Hey, good luck. Good luck with everything. There's a dash down here, I think, right? Yeah. This one's a little bit closer. Let's go here. First day on the floor. There you go. T5 minimum price about 33 cents. Okay, I see. So I went for the dash. I ended up finding the Lura instead. My autopilot is definitely broken today. This Lura is juking me out. Here, let's come back to you like Riptorus later. It's still marked, so that works. A little pupper is what I'm looking for. Exalted Monk here, though, I definitely want to get at some point as well. Drop a beacon. And I think the pupper is just down this way. There you are. I don't have any of my cooldowns up, so just give me a second, you speedy little bugger. And you're called a dash for a reason, I suppose. Lock you down so my potato aim can actually shoot ya. There we go. And let's get into it. The floor is going up in price, actually. So tier 5s at a very, very bare minimum have gone up by almost 10 cents. And this change has only gone through 2 days. That is awesome. Okay, mods this time, resistances across the board. So they're gonna be a little bit tankier. This dash is not too shabby. I mean, its Omega Power is a little lackluster. But I'm debating on still catching this, or at least throwing one shard at it anyway. It's worth the fight. So let's at least get to the fight. Let's not count my chickens before they hatch here. Or, to pull off a true dad joke, don't count my kukas before they hatch. Okay. Bring the gang all in. I'm so used to picking and choosing who I want to bring, but I should, in all honesty, just be putting everybody onto the floor. Maybe let my ranger tank so that they don't necessarily die. Do you have more kukas? Yeah, plenty of kukas. Okay. Ebb. Ebb can actually tank a little bit now. And let's put a tank back here to kind of help with the Toxic Brothers of Destruction. This will give me the one shot towards the dash. I think YouTube by default does shoot down links, so my apologies if it did. But no, of course, anybody on the YouTube side of things, or actually it's not even Fox, or this might be our YouTube, but it was on a different channel though, right? How does fusion work? So when you have 3 alluvials, essentially, you try to have 3 of the same alluvials. You then have a spot in the home base at Sancta Mesa, where you can then turn those 3 alluvials into 1. And then there is a chance of, I believe it's, is it 2 stats from each alluvial, or 3 that pass over from each alluvial into the brand new one? But there is a little bit of a luck-based system there as to what actually comes through, similar to, say, hatching eggs in Pokemon. But yeah, you take 3, like say if I have 3 Archies, I would take 3 Archies and then I can fuse them into an Archos, which is the next level. Speaking of Archie, I don't think I checked their stats here. Let's double check. But this Rhoda isn't terrible, but of course this is what we're here. And yes, there is shinies in this game here as well. Just we call them hollows and dark hollows. Alright, roll the dice. 50-50 shot here onto this little dash. While it may not necessarily be something for my team in particular, I'm sure it would fit in nicely with somebody's. Let's take a look and see. Can we score this one? That'd be an absolute amazing catch. Hilda, don't fail me now! We do secure it. Dash is here. Middle of the road at best in terms of stats, but I mean, it's an upgrade to me, and I'm happy to have it. In regards to fusion with the shinies, or fusion with hollow, if you fuse one hollow, or let's say if I had the 3 Archies again, and one of those was hollow, it has a 33% chance of the newly evolved alluvial being hollow. The only way you can guarantee your hollow or dark hollow to evolve into the next stage of hollow is having 3 hollow alluvials as the fusion material. I know I lost a dark hollow to Tofi because I got greedy and did had one of them. It was a 33% shot at being a dark hollow to Tofi, and I did lose it. So yeah, if you're trying to get all the way up to a stage 3 dark hollow, you need 9. Yeah. Thank you, Toriel. So the dash is now here. Since I'm down here, let me double check the encounters we've already gone through. There's an exalted, fully evolved monk here. Right here, if I do recall correctly. And I feel like that is kind of why I say the hollow, the regular hollow ones. You definitely see more of them compared to shinies in a Pokemon game. However, Dark Hollow is kind of like where that extreme rarity starts to show up. And even then, I don't think every single alluvial right now can actually be a Dark Hollow. So that's something to note as well. Okay, let's see. An Exalted Monk here. Kind of middle of the road, but is it enough for me to actually want to take this fight? I don't think so. I think we're going to let this one pass. There's just too much else out there that I want to check. I look out my window for 1 second and holy smokes, looking like Taiga Boreal out there. Blizzard level of snow. Definitely a day that I'm happy to be on the inside. Now this was the Riptorus, if I recall correctly. Let's see if we can find a good one here. I'm not even playing arena gear, come on. I leave for 5 seconds and you're already eliminated. I'm not even in the arena. I'm from Canada. That is not a terrible Caribou. How about the Lura? That's what it was. It was Lura that we were chasing. Riptorus was up northern. Probably not worth the time, unfortunately. Yeah, for those on YouTube, of course, I have chat windows open here for all of my chat rooms. So if you see me answering a question that was not asked in your on your platform, it's probably because I'm bouncing between platforms here. Like I'm talking to Gear, he's on the Twitch side of things. I know a lot of yous are on the YouTube side of things. But I don't mean to isolate or make things odd if I'm talking a conversation you can't see. Alrighty. The Caradulox potentially maybe something to take a look at as well. If I could find a monster one of them, that'd be really cool. And then we'll go to the northern side and take a look at like the Flood and the Sea of Lynxes that we saw up in the top left. Okay, there's actually an ebb in here as well. That's a surprise. But my goodness, are there some beefy monsters in front of it. The Caradulo, I mean, it's not great. How about the ebb? I mean, it's got HP. Yeah, not worth the fight, unfortunately. It's definitely a little anticlimactic, and I hate just constantly bouncing in and out, but again, I'm just so nervous about overusing alluvials and them getting exhausted, and then having no alluvials left for when I actually get to my sought-after ones. Which maybe should be a sign that I should maybe focus on what I'm actually kind of sought out here for. Get the high important ones out of the way first. Yeah, so this is the Sea of Lynxes. There's a slap in here as well I'd love to take a look at. There's a slash in actually somewhere, right? Right there. That's what we're taking a look at next. Oh, come on. Boing. My mortal enemy. Has spotted me pretty much immediately. I can't even take a look at you, alright? Let's go. This damn penguin has literally... This and Umber basically have numbed me when looking for highlights during the Illuvium Pro League. So sick of this damn penguin, but it's so cool at the same time. I can't even be mad. Let's see. If anybody's taking a look, what's the floor of a Slashin' right now? Because this guy is literally Garbo. Oh, man. Aw. Damn. TB Ruko? No. I mean, that Lynx, though. Considering the Nimble Lynx is easily my worst Lynx right now, I might take this. Okay, it's still worth the fight. Yeah, this Slashin' is literally as floor can get, almost. This is brutal. Thankfully, only the 3 alluvials, but those are 3 very strong alluvials. Make a little bit of a line of scrimmage here. Keep everybody relatively healthy. I'm going to go for the one shot here on the Lynx. I am not going to take any chances at getting a classic Slashin' 1v8. Only 16 cents, eh? Okay, yeah. Burn for the skin. You're not wrong. Potentially. There, everybody please beat up this penguin. Did we do that without a casualty? Pretty close, I think. Best case scenario in terms of saving energy. Yeah, exactly the thought about it. Just, I'm just kind of torn about the Lynx, though, because... I mean, yeah, I could likely find another Lynx, right? The likelihood of finding Slashins are definitely a lot lower. But this is a pretty damn good Lynx, too, even still. It's not perfect by any means, doesn't have maxed out anything, but the fact that everything is, for the most part, level 4, with only the Omega Power being level 3, I kinda want it. Eye is torn. Very, very torn. A Nimble Lynx that I can actually use in battle. Or my mortal enemy that's absolutely Garbo, but at least it's fully evolved. Harsh, I think, maybe. I'm going to do two things, or one thing, but it's for two reasons. One, it wouldn't be me if I didn't go for Lynxes. And two, I could actually use this thing. It's a massive upgrade. I'll even put the tier 3 shard on it. It's me. I will pass on the slashing for the shot at trying to get this Lynx that I could actually use in battle. The tough choice, but Lynxes, they come to me. We will absolutely pick this thing up. Love to bring this onto the team. Gotta level it up, of course. But that is a pretty damn good Lynx. Sayonara slashing. I'll see you whenever I play ranked. A lot. I'm sure. Because everybody's gonna be using you. That was tough, though. Thank you, thank you. That was a satisfying catch. That would have been heartbreaking if I didn't go for slash and went for the Lynx and then it broke out. That's kind of why I oversharded a little bit there. I gotta be careful that I don't say that too quickly, because it sounds like I'm saying something else. All I can say is my pants are completely clean, I promise you that. I leave for 5 minutes and you lose a catch? Nuh-uh, I got the catch. I got the catch here. Just had to pick between two. Because of course the fully evolved penguin, a little bit rarer compared to the Nimble Lynx, but the Nimble Lynx that I picked up did have pretty good stats. That's probably at least a 75, if not 80% TPI. I saw this Heady here, and I kind of wanted to check it out. Tank-wise, that's not terrible. Archie, I mean, that's not terrible either, all things considered. Move speed doesn't truly matter, and honestly, could this be a Heady that somebody entry-level could use? I could have caught more if I had less guys and just used the buffs instead. Yeah, 100%. This is where my inexperience in the overworld is definitely showing big time. I could 100% be that much more efficient. But there's been a few encounters today that have actually scared me and that I've actually lost because I tried to get greedy in terms of catches. Yeah, like the Heady's not bad, eh? Well, let's fight first and ask questions later. The Gazatep's gonna be annoying back there. My poor little Alfie is gonna be interrupted endlessly. Let's put Ebb over there instead. Something like this. Make a little funnel so that my Riptor and the Toxic Brothers of Destruction can go along the right side. Snarl. Hairblue. Atlas. Fighter Sword. Your Blotto could solo stage 1 fights? Yeah, that's so satisfying when you can actually do that. That's awesome. Do the run like this. Let the Ranger be the tank. Burn, Gazatep, all shooting at the Ebb instead. And if I leave Alfie off the board, I could potentially get a second shot at this. Let's give it a shot. Tanks are holding quite nicely, though. Heady again. with the blinds making things extremely difficult. But now my Alluvials are onto the back line finally. I do lose Little Rip. Big Rip is still there, though. Tanks are very, very hurt. But they've lost a lot of their damage, so I should be okay. Okay, yeah, we're good. Did I lose? Oh no, Big Rip's still there. We're good. Good experience for everybody here. Atlas is on its way to level 30. Same thing here with Riptorus. Come Monday, we're probably not going to be in the perfect scenario when it comes to levels, but I feel like we'll be at least above average. 50-50 shot here for this Heady. It's not perfect, but I feel like it would be pretty decent for somebody. Let's see, can it stay in there? There it goes. It will be secured on the first shot. We love to see it. This little guy maxed out on attack damage, which is nice, but not super necessary. The big thing, though, almost perfect on health and resistance. And who could be mad at that little face? Cute little fella. These other two we will pass on, though. Now to the Sea of Lynxes, and then the Flood. I think I have to take a look at the Flood first. As long as my attention span actually lets me focus on my task. Because I'm gonna just be traveling through this area. Okay, I gotta go to the Flood. Ooh, a kitty. Ooh, a kitty. Ooh, a kitty. Ooh, a scorpion. But no, let's get to that Flood. Try to stay focused. There we go. Yeah, literally the exact same spot as last time. The Flood is here. It must really like this little waterfall. I don't blame you, buddy. It is quite nice. Let's put a beacon down. Again, for my Flood, this is one of those alluvials that I could absolutely use. Chart, or spreadsheet flashbang warning incoming. So, my Flood right here, it's currently the one I'm using. It's not leveled up at all, but it does at least have the tank stats. I need everything else, though, to help boost the Omega Power cast. Especially Omega Power itself, I only have as a level 1. So there is still plenty of room for improvement on a Flood. Can we get ourselves a good Flood? Let's see here in a second. A not terrible Caribou has maxed out tank stats, which is the main, more important thing. Offensively, a little bit lackluster. This Flood, however, is probably actually weaker than the one that I do currently have. The only benefit is its Omega Power, so I will let it go. In before somebody yells at me in the chat for it actually having a relatively decent price for the floor. Whoops. This is where I need a third monitor. I wish I had another monitor right here, right now, that I could just keep the marketplace up now. And the fact, again, that I'm even talking this way. See what this Alluvium patch has done? I used to not give a crap at all about the prices of things, or transactions, or playing the game in terms of making anything. This patch has changed everything. And I'm not complaining. To say, I knew there was a Riptor in here somewhere.
Right on.
Gonna lock that down, but there is also a dash here. Somewhere around here. Relatively close. In fact, yeah, I was looking at it. Wait for my cooldown to come back up. And there's the dash, because yeah, this thing's so fast I haven't really been able to shoot it outside of the box. So let's get it taken down. Oh god, here we go. It's juking me. There we go. Fast little bugger. Let's see what is going down. The last dash that we got was about middle of the road. It was still pretty decent. This one has attack damage, which is pretty nice, but it is lacking on pretty well everything else. I don't even imagine this would be solid for the sake of fusing, now would it? It's just having the attack stat. Well, yes, having the attack stat's good. You kind of want at least 3 max stats if you're going to use it for fusion. And nobody cares about movement speed. Do I just run from this? What I don't know can't hurt me. We will leave that dash alone. There is a Riptor right nearby. Would love to be able to take that. And then the Sea of Lynxes, all right there. There were a ton of Stage 3 Lynxes in this area. Right down here, the Riptor will hop into this encounter. Yeah, this is nice. Like, even these runs, I'm spending a lot more time in each run, but I'm still having a fun time with this. Okay, let's take a look at our alluvials that we're going up against here. So the Caribou, no thank you. Atlas, no thank you. Riptor, no thank ya. Oh, we do have 2 relatively bulky alluvials that we can at least get maybe decent experience out of. But no, I need to behave. There is Lynxes to catch. Self-control. Must not throw my alluvials at every single fight. Okay, right around the corner here, Sea of Lynxes. I'll show you again one more time what I'm talking about here. So just below me here, Relentless Hydra Lynx, Nimble Hydra Lynx, Nimble, Arcane. There's a penguin, there's 2 penguins, and then more Lynxes. So penguins and kitties seems to be the way we're going here. Of course, on my big spreadsheet of my teams, oddly enough, I did not put any sort of consideration for any sort of Lynxes. So any beautiful Lynx that could possibly fill in would be absolutely incredible. I didn't take into consideration the tier 0s either. It's definitely something that I'm going to have to do eventually. I don't know, how do tier 0s handle themselves in stage 2 runs? Are they worth taking there, or is it just best off putting them in a stage 1? If anybody has any advice, I'd gladly... Holy sh... that's a Rip Lance. Bulky Relentless Hydra Lynx here as well. If only I could catch this thing. That is a beautiful Rip Lance, but as a ghost, I cannot actually fight it. I mean, next to no attack damage, next to no Omega power, and this Rip Lance is going to beat my ass. I'm going to run out of here, this one. Not sure if they have the stats and levels. They should be okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Zephyr. Now, one thing that I just kind of realized since I went into overtime, I apologize. You're not waiting for me to finish streaming before starting your stream, are you? Because I feel bad if I'm putting you behind here. I mean, I should probably be picking up the pace anyway here. Not necessarily speed running. But let's keep a move on. Nimble Hydrolinks. One of 2 in the area. No, all good? Okay, cool. Alright. I'm glad. Got off work early. Okay, sweet. That works. Okay, a slashing coming to wreck my day. Let's see. Nimble Hydrolinks is not worth the time. That was an absolute potato links. Got your stage 3 unbugged. Uh-oh. Well, at least it's fixed now. Paulo Ramphy, that's actually incredible. Congrats, lock it down. And may the stats be ever in your favor. If I found an if I found an Hollow Ramphy, I would overshart. Need a change of pants after that. I would be very, very surprised. I believe this was the other relentless Hydrolinks. I saw links I shot. I did not think twice about it. A few other penguins in this area as well. Stream after I'm done. Okay, sounds good. And this was the other Nimble links. Okay. Atlas, no Caradulo. I mean, that's not terrible, but that's not what I'm here for. Nimble Hydrolinks. Not much to really look for either. Unfortunate. Setting stuff up now. Sounds good. I imagine within the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be in my Illuvium Zero cooldown, and heck, maybe even Rayjet. You do specifically just Twitch, right? A Riptor, yes please. Remember when I was saying that I have a hard time keeping focus on my task? Wasn't I just going after penguins and lynxes? And ooh, a scorpion. And immediately change focus. Just got your lands all situated, sweet. You're gonna try YouTube out? Sounds good. Now, I'm not sure how the rating system works on YouTube, but of course, anybody, if they want to check out the Illuvium Zero side of things from the #1 player currently ranked, by all means, make sure you have Zephyros followed here as well. That little Riptor ain't too shabby. I don't know if catchworthy, though. We're gonna fight it anyway, though, I think. This should be a relatively easy fight. Brothers of Destruction. Tank. Cow. And Pistol Shrimp. This ought to be enough, right? Can I throw some of my common stuff at it? Just make the squad a little bulkier. That should do the trick, right? Easy peasy. Did we have any casualties? I don't think so. Nice little boost for everybody. And then for this little Riptor, of course I only have the one shot. But this is more so of a bonus to me. If we can catch this off a tier 3 shard, that is a bonus. 50% chance to lock down the little guy. Did have max health and max attack speed, if I recall correctly. And it will run for me this time, but that is okay. Go run free back to the waters, little guy. Now I can go back to the lynxes and the penguins. And it's going to put me into the tunnel, but I can at least teleport back, if I recall correctly. If I just did something like this, I can zip myself to the opening of the tunnel. And then shoot myself out this way. There we go. Let it get bigger. Nyum. Exactly, yep. Back to the waters, come out a little bit bigger, and I'll see you next time kind of style. Just like throwing a fish back once you're fishing. Go on, little guy. Little bass or something like that. Once you get bigger, give me a good fight later down the road. Okay, now this, I think, is the actual other Relentless Hydrolynx. Oh no, I am completely off. This was the Arcane one, so okay, I better not line myself up if we do end up fighting this. This Arcane Hydrolynx does have maxed out HP and resistances and pretty good attack speed as well. But yeah, its offensive stats, considering it's a Scion, are rather lackluster. Everybody else on this field are rather lackluster as well. Off to the Penguin next. Fire me back off towards my little beacon. Oh, it just sent me right back to the obelisk, actually. I mean, we're pretty close. Let's see. Arcane and Slap in. Let's go... Wait. Actually, before I do that. There was a Riptorus here, right? That's what I needed to take a look at before. That's a weird sound. Oh, it was just the wind. One thing that's a little bit on the personal side. So one thing that I'm personally having a really, really hard time with, of course, I have a rather cheap apartment, right? And over the last 5-6 years, I've been constantly going back and forth here with my landlord because they would not refuse or repair a leaking roof. So anytime I hear some sort of rumbling noise, I literally freak the hell out. So what just happened right there, I heard a bunch of rumbling and I was very, very scared, thinking that something was actually going to come down and fall on me. It was just the winds, bruh. I try to calm down, but I literally cannot. Little Riptorus, okay, it's about as middle of the road as it can get. Nimblelink's not going to be an upgrade. This Atlas is not terrible. Do we take a shot at this Riptorus? Maybe we fight and then just throw a shard and see what we can do. So let's see. I'll put you here. Potentially maybe even let Ebb have some fun. Get myself situated kind of like this with a little bro being here. Our little Rip can go there. This probably by itself should be enough, right? I mean, the links could be a problem. Let's give my ranger an Atlas to help out. Just do something like this. We'll give big rip. Oh, my ranger just straight up dipped and left my Atlas to die. Yep. Slumlords, unfortunately. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Two big miss positions here going into this fight. Poor little Rip just got completely eaten alive by that Riptorus. And then my poor Atlas got smoked because I was going... I got my Ranger doing their Sonic the Hedgehog impression and just diving right out of there. Alright, Riptorus. Would you like to join? The chances may be low. Let's give it a shot. And, okay, say less, Riptorus. Bye. It broke out of that with authority. My goodness. It did not want to join. Yeah, about another 8 minutes here before I finally start cooling down. I may even have to... do I have to stop this early in order to get 0 in here? Potentially? Yeah, Sonic is basically a gyro. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Us being online, like actually streaming. Because let's be honest. People want to watch people having fun with the game. And when the only time you see Illuvium streamed is an advertisement from somebody who normally plays something else, it's really easy to dogpile onto the streamer for taking a sponsored gig for a Web3 game. Let's be honest, we're stigmatized all hell, right? People learn that a game's NFT and all of a sudden you're a scammer and all the other good jazz that they love to throw at you, which couldn't be further from the truth. But the more that just the Illuvium community themselves streams the game as well, and not even like just competitive, just hanging out and having fun, the better it is for everybody. And I know that's personally one of the reasons why I do it so often here. Of course, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, regardless of what's going on, I do try to play. Is Penguin worth my time? I'm gonna just let those ones go. Start a volunteer marketing team? I'm interested to see what their plan is in regards to for marketing in general. But oddly enough, like us as streamers, we essentially are the volunteer marketing team in a sense, right? Because if we're on here having a great time, like playing the game, enjoying our time genuinely, regardless of any sort of compensation or anything along those lines, I mean, that's about as best of a marketing that you could possibly get, right? But when we hop on to see streams, like I know a lot of times during the IPL season, for example, like there'd be some people streaming who don't normally end up streaming, and it's literally F this game, like this game sucks, this game's so random, I absolutely hate this, why am I playing this game? And then those were the only people that were streaming the game? That is about the most damage that can be done, in theory. So, might as well, if we're essentially trying to volunteer, I think oddly enough, just streaming you having fun is probably the best that you can do. But of course, you gotta find the time for it. Yeah, 60-hour work weeks, trying to squeak that in, that's brutal. That's tough. 100%. Oh boy, this is quite the lineup. Let's see. So the Arcane Lynx is no good, but how about the Stabbin and the Slappin that we see here? Slappin? That's a takey's little Slappin. That's a good little guy. Heck, Stabbin isn't terrible either. It's got at least the auto attacks down. I mean, Omega Power, yeah, you do want it for a little bit of bonuses, but I mean, you can live without it a little bit, right? We might have a hard choice in terms of what we want to try and catch in just a few minutes' time. But again, this is a very tough battle on Umber on the other side here. Ranger, please. We need to just literally wreck the shit out of this thing immediately, right? Okay. Can we please box in the Umber? Box in my Ranger. Potentially somehow kind of like this. Something like this maybe. With maybe Big Rip, Little Rip. Could this potentially work? Because there are a lot of scary alluvials here. And then potentially Caribou box in Alfie? Is this how we handle it? And then there is... Oh, no, there is not a world where I can... Oh, maybe. Where I can pick up maybe both of these penguins if this does go well. Yeah, Umber... If there's any single alluvial that you're absolutely terrified of seeing, it's probably Umber. What do we got? Oh, does it have bonus damage too? Oh, cripe. Well, here's what's up. We have work to do. Put maybe on some of these uncommons. This is going to be as greedy of a battle as it can get. But we need to wrap up stream sometime soon. I can only imagine the earful I'm about to be getting as soon as I walk out this door. So let's make sure that we make it count. Bring Nut onto you. That's a lot of rogues. That's a lot of damage. But if we get this, it'd be pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, it didn't go onto a tank. It's onto Big Rip. Oh, no, no, no. Come on. Ooh. Well, that didn't work out very well, now did it? You'd think I'd learned by now that was probably a time to run. That's unfortunate. That was a very, very strong squad. Okay. Let's try to catch a couple of these guys over here and then call it a day. Yeah, as soon as I saw the Ghost Umber, I'm like, oh god, this could end terribly. And even when I focused on trying to kill it off so quickly, it just did not work. But no, that's a nice thing about the game hopping into this stage 2. For the longest time, this game just honestly felt too easy, but I also just kept myself at stage 1 runs. It's very humbling getting my ass kicked like that. But what's going to feel really good is once I have this team leveled up, and I can take on that fight, that'll feel so good. Alright. Dearest Lynx. That is a pretty decent one, but we again have the Gulag to have to truly go through. That is a Titanor and a Goliant in my way. My goodness, we're going to need as much firepower as we can possibly get to truly get the job done here today. Especially since some of my alluvials are rightfully angry at me, considering I just sent them into the grasp of an Umber. Little bit heartbreaking as well. Of course, I did just blow a lot of those experience boosters, those consumables on a fight that I guess I had no business trying to win. Let's try it again. I imagine a Titan Ore has to give you a lot of experience, right? Alright. Let's get that Lynx. Oh, absolutely. Not easy at all to get those top tier alluvials. Did I... Oh... I forgot to put my suit on, but thankfully never punished, or at least not punished this time. I can't say never punished, I just got punished so hard not too long ago there. And there we go, sure enough, having the flint caps on there as well. Big experience boost, essentially here for everybody. You proceed to try and get everybody to level 40 by Monday. But this little guy, the Lynx just to my right, this is what we're aiming for. I have 2 shots. I'm going to use the first one as a tier 2 shard. In a worst case scenario, I can bump it up to a tier 3 because look at the Omega power onto this one and a relatively decent all-around little Lynx. It would probably be one of my better Lynxes for sure. And with the Leviathan Arena, you kind of want 2 good baby Lynxes. Gonna break out the first time, so let's bring out the tier 3, bring out the big guns. Lynx, get into the shard. I am not asking. Please, get in there. Hopefully pick this one up. One more. Oh my god, it's gonna break out anyway. Alright, stubborn little guy. Absolutely unlucky. Zephyr, I promise I'm trying to speed things up so we can get you to go streaming, but seems like a little bit against me here today. Quickly hop on over to another one. I'm now low on all of these flint caps. Let me shoot these. There's the Stoic. And we'll get good. All good you like watching? Okay. Thank you again. Honestly, I predict that someone somewhere might be able to support their family by flint cap farming. I can only imagine, at least over the last little while there isn't necessarily any help for leveling up, that probably could have been a valid path. Trying to see, is that Caribou catchable? Or is that a ghost? I'm having a hard time figuring out if this Caribou is actually catchable. No, it's a ghost. Of course it's a ghost. It was the app on that I can pick up. Stoic Lynx, you have some decent Omega power, but I shall let you go here. No rush. Alright, sweet, thank you. This is probably the longest I've streamed outside of an esports broadcast since starting streaming back in the 4th of July. So let it be known, I'm having fun here. Gonna probably get chewed out here in a few minutes once I do wrap things up. You said you'd be done at 12. Yeah, I know. Sorry. And there is Pengu. Lock you down. Do I have another beacon? I do have another beacon. Let's place ourselves here. Yep, no arena here today, Gear. I'm not sure how much you've seen, but Illuvium made a change recently where the ranked game mode for Illuvium Arena, now requires, or it now takes part of your actual collection. So the Illuvials that you have, their stats translate to what you have in the arena. One of those things is the levels. So personally, I have now at least a couple of Illuvials that are okay stat-wise now. But they are extremely under-leveled. So I'm here in the overworld because I need to, one, look for some good Illuvials to catch and see if I can find an upgrade, and two, actually level them up. I had about 7 views or so on Twitch. That is different. Normally Twitch doesn't give me anything. So hello everybody over there. Welcome. You're destroying players in the arena? I bet you are. Nicely done. Okay, so I was going to say that maybe this penguin was relatively decent, but then I saw this little... Okay, I know what to do here. Later. I am not going to get destroyed again. Yeah, make sure you get the homework done, absolutely. For sure. Take care, eh? Links to Riptor. Hopefully we find something good. There's the little Riptor. I see your tail poking out from the water. Let's get you. Yeah. Next couple of ones, I think I'm just going to do the fights anyway. Oh, there's even a Lynx in this too. Can you both potentially be good? Oh, my poor little Riptor is dead. Little Rip. And yeah, my entire team is flashing red. Ugh. You know, the Riptor's not terrible in terms of offensive stats. Lynx, I mean, it's okay. I think we fight just for the sake of fighting, and then I do the rest of the resource gathering after the fact here. Poor little Rip. Can I even take this fight, I wonder? We'll try to make it happen. Tough it shall be, though. Anybody gonna jump me over here, or is it just... That's a little foe? Come on, foe. I wish you weren't a ghost. I'd try to grab you as well, because I do need you. My poor team flashing red. Let's see if they can maybe clean up one more fight here. Probably not, but we'll see. Definitely a close one. It's going to come down to whether Big Rip can actually handle this, which I don't think they're going to be able to. Oh, it's close. It's real close, actually. Stop dying. I wish I could, but these Illuvials are pretty tough to handle. That taunt absolutely screwed my poor Atlas. It is all down to my Ranger versus this Exalted Gorilla. Am I going to be saved? I have a hard... We did actually. Oh my gosh. We got saved by the overtime pulses for one more boost of experience, but I imagine all of my Illuvials got to be dead now. So here's the thing. I'm extremely low already on energy. So let's see. Riptor, you want to join? I promise I won't make you a skin. I can't say the same about some of your brothers or sisters, though. Oh, you didn't like that very much now, did you? Okay, try one more time. I'm not asking. This little bugger, I do not wish to use a tier 4 shard on you. You know what? And Lynx is what? Yeah, we'll try one more time here. Come on, little rip. Genuinely do need you to actually make a skin here, so come on. Come on, buddy. Alright, so there we go. We will end up scooping it up. It ain't the greatest little guy, but he's my little guy, and that's all that matters. Okay health, okay attack speed, okay attack damage, and okay movement speed. Just an okay little fella. That, and then I'll just shoot rocks, I think, for the rest of them. Hopefully try to get some for the drone augments that I need. There's a good spot to harvest, it looks like, right here. Is that yellow? I have a hard time telling. Oh no, that was actually for a rare shard. There we go. At least got one of the rare shards that I used back. Bang. Bang. Some more shards, thank goodness. I do need to do, I think, a couple stage 1 runs just to get up my basic shard count again. Or maybe I do it even at stage 2, I'm not sure. Could potentially do so.
Crafting table now. Interesting.
Back to the hollow question. If none of the earlier stages are hollow, and the next one not to be hollow, are you referring to fusions, or are you referring to the actual encounter when we're going into battle in the overworld? Because if you're talking about the overworld, there is chances, and I have seen it, where like maybe I'm hopping into like just a plain Lynx encounter, for example, and then all of a sudden there's a hollow Atlas there with it. That can happen. Now, for the fusions, correct, yeah, if none of the alluvials are hollow, it doesn't then fuse into a hollow. It doesn't have, like, not even a 1% chance. No, it just cannot be hollow. In stage 2, you can find tier 5 shards. Heck yeah, that'd be probably a wise choice then. And with that, we are out of energy. Yeah, no problem, Gary. You're good. And with that, we will say sayonara here to the stage 2 run. Did 2 of them. We got a lot of work done in terms of leveling up our alluvials. Had a few, but cool little catches. So I'm very, very excited to have been able to pick those up here today. And overall, that was a very, very fun time. I gotta see what's up with this little dash. Yeah, so here is the haul from that one. On face value, it doesn't necessarily look the most impressive, but the biggest thing, of course, is this dash for me or not for me personally, but at least in terms of the market, this one's probably the most valuable. This heady is not too bad here as well. And then, of course, the Lynx. When I saw this thing, I knew I had to capture it. Glad to have it. Not perfect anywhere, but an absolute beast overall. Going to gladly level this guy up later. As for the games, might have to shut down the first weeks of Jan. Absolutely, hit me up on Discord and we'll figure something out. Absolutely. Alright. With that being said, I am absolutely in major overtime. That's probably my longest stream in a very, very long time. I hope everybody's had a fantastic time, regardless of which platform you happen to be on. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, be sure to follow, or rather, if you're on Twitch or X, be sure to follow. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. I do these streams for Illuvium every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm not sponsored, I'm just having a damn good time. and especially going into next week. It'll be a bit of an exception because of the holiday. I'm not going to be on Friday, but as a bit of a sneak peek to everybody tuning in, of course, this is what we've got going on. My Ranked Arena debut, now that everything is Leviathan, regardless of where I stand level-wise, will happen on Monday. We're going to be playing nothing but Arena. If I lose my top 50 spot, screw it. If I can't keep it, then I didn't belong there in the first place. So we will absolutely do our best on Monday to get into the swing of things. Then in regards to Wednesday, Christmas Eve, we will be doing a stream as well, just in the morning. It'll be a shorter one, but we'll get it done. Overworld, Ranked, and Tier 5 biodata is going to be the plan, will be the idea. What happened to Tuesday, Friday? I had changed that for a while ago there, Gear, because Fridays kept colliding with IPL. So that's why I changed it off of Tuesday, Friday. Yeah, we're Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. And this, of course, going to be a fun week. Of course, holidays. Make sure you're spending the holiday with your family if you have the opportunity to do so, or at least give them the shout. Make sure you tell them that you're thankful for them, assuming everything is in good standing. But with that being said, we will close things off. I would try to raid, but I don't know how to raid on YouTube. So instead of having the Illuvium cooldown lap here with me, or the Illuvium Zero cooldown lap here with me, why don't you go check out Zephyros? He's there in the chat currently on the YouTube side of things. Give them a sub as well, because, of course, who better to learn from than the Ranked 1 player in Illuvium Zero? So with that being said, again, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you on Monday.